Welcome to MS Info Solutions. This is M. Ramanjanailu. Today we will discuss about the introduction to the .NET of part 2. In this part, we will discuss about the web-based application, how the what is web-based application, how the web-based applications are working, and how many kinds of web-based applications we have. Let us discuss about that. See, first of all, the introducing about the web applications. See, what is a web application? The collection of the web pages is known as a web application. Okay, the complete web pages, we have two types of web pages. We have in the image we are if identifying here. See this, the web page can be divided into two types. One is a static website, and the second one is a dynamic web page. Okay, see, let us see what the static web page. Static web page, this type of web page consists of the HTML code typed directly into text or a web page editor. It is saved as an .html or .html file. See, first of all, the web page is a collection of data, simply to display the data, not a collection of data, to display the data. See, for example, we are taking a white page that is presented within the book. See, why we are using the white page on the book, in the book? See, the major the to read and write purpose we are using the book page. In the same manner, to display the content throughout the globe is possible to display the data on the web page. See, this static web pages contains the, so how we will design the static web page or dynamic web page means with the help of the one of the technology, that is the HTML technology. The HTML technology is used to develop the web pages, to define the web pages. Okay, it is one of the markup language we will discuss in the later sessions of the HTML. The main theme of the web page is to display the data on the web page throughout the to display the data throughout the globe. Okay, right, the extension for the static web page is .html or .html. Okay, that is the extension. The context and appearance of the static web page is always the same. Simply, whatever the data we are developed while developing the application, whatever the data we are presenting on the page, it is not modifiable. Simply, the data is not changed. It's simply like a context, like either text or images, hyperlinks, and so on. Whatever the hyperlinks we are using, the data is not modified, is for not it does not have a chance to modify the data. Simply the unique data is and the static data is available on the web page. Okay, so these web pages too do not utilize any database or any other technologies that dynamically builds up the pages or content at runtime based on their visitors input. And simply, for example, we are taking any web application, that application is not working with the databases and any other different technologies. And for example, we are taking the any career space, simply our address space, it displays the only address. It is not, it simply, it does not provide the any user interaction, so it does not work out the user input values. So simply the only the data is defined. After defining the data on the page, the data is fixed data. When at any cost, it does not possible to change the data. If you want to change the data, if you need to delete the previous HTML page and you need to write the different HTML page, in that manner only is possible to change the data on the static web pages. And we see about the dynamic. And first of all, before going to the dynamic web pages, we need to know about the how the static web pages are working and how the static web pages are served to the user. See, in this slide we are identifying the two images, that is, one is the web server image and second one is the client image. One is a web server image and its client image. Simply the site is presented within the server and the client is nothing but the browser. See, the browser only is possible to access the data from the web server. Okay, simply the first step is the other writes HTML. Simply whatever the developer is there, the developer write the web pages and he will deploy on the server. Okay, second one, client requests the web page with the help of address. Simply, for example, we are taking a static, for example, we are taking any one of the small, very small web page. See, just simply try to execute on the web page within the URL. For example, we are taking the see AMD we have one URL that is a www.amdbis.co.in. That is a one of the static website that presents the only data. It is not modifiable. Okay, see that is the example. See that when we are trying to access the page, the web server locates the .html file only. Okay, and if it is identify the HTML stream for the input HTML for the HTML page return to the browser process the HTML and display the page. Okay, in this manner the web page is served to the user. Okay, next coming to the dynamic web pages. The dynamic web page is nothing but the it provides the it verifies to modify the content of the web pages based on their input. Simply when they're trying to access the dynamic web page, so for example we are taking the google.com. When we are search the some data, for example ASP.NET. See in this slide, in this image we are identifying that we are trying to search about the ASP.NET on Google. Based on that user input is the ASP.NET, and it will give the some different represent it recent websites, related website it will give on the output. So based on the user input the data will be modified on the website. Okay, that is the first point. They utilizes the databases and other mechanisms that is enable to identity their visitors and present them which is customized greeting messages and restructure the content according to the user input, etc. Simply in there it is able to interact with the database and it is able to interact with the user. These coming to the static web pages, those are not able to interact with the database and not able to interact with the user. But coming to dynamic web pages, it is able to interact with the database and as well as to the user. That is a point. And some examples for that one is online shopping stores, search engines, emails, charts, community portals, and etc. And how the dynamic web pages are working. And one more thing is here, dynamic websites make to sure use the server side technology. So without using server side technology is not possible to perform the dynamic functionality to the new web pages or static web pages. So it is must and should to need to use the server side technology. The server side technologies add an extra layer to the static web page that enables to web server to generate the HTML on the fly. Here on the fly means while runtime the HTML code will be automatically generated. Okay, the web server will first interrupt the server side code present in the web pages and generate the appropriate HTML, then send the response to the web browser. To let me know about these 3 points, we need to know about the how it will serve. See, first of all, the browser will send the request to the user. Simply this is also nothing but the client server architecture. See here, when the user try to access the google.com, first of all he need to try to write the particular address on the URL bar. So when he try to access the google.com, first he will try to type that one, right? So in the same manner he type, for example he typed the google.com and he send enter. That is the first one, that is the first step that is appeared here. This is one the first step, and within the second step the browser serve the searches for the request page. Whatever the request page is sent request is sent by the client. Based on that the server will search the data. And third one is the server collects the content, the code means this is the server side code and this is the HTML code of the web page, and parse of the content to the produce HTML. So simply based on the code it will read existing HTML and some new HTML will be generated here. It will send to this the HTML to the browser. The HTML stream is sent back to the requesting browser, and the browser will process the HTML and display the output page to the user. Okay, this is thank that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.